All right, we're playing with Liechtenstein pop art, and one of the things that I noticed about all of his pictures, since he's really based on a comic book, is his really vibrant shapes with text and how they're very much like comic book text. So I thought it would be fun to do a little tutorial on making something like this one here that says pop, or this one here. Alright, so I'm in my Photoshop, and we're going to use the shape tool, and it has a lot of shapes besides rectangles, squares, ellipses, polygons, and lines. We're going to use the custom shape, and you get these little shapes over here, and there are a lot more than might be available at first glance too by clicking on this little tool here. And as you see, we can get everything, or there's artistic textures, banners, awards. I'm going to just pull up all, and instead of replace, we're going to append, and that way then everything that's a shape should show up here in this library menu. And when I look at his pop here, it's got kind of a lightning bolt first. So I'm going to start with the lightning bolt shape and look for something kind of like that in the background. So I'm really going to try to do something really similar to what he's got there to go with my Ben Day picture. And let's see, there was something down here in nature. Here's nature as we go that this is very similar to some of his shapes here as well, but there's a flash. I'm looking for a lightning bolt picture. That I have so many now, it's hard to see them all. I think I'll come back to that, and I will actually start with the cloud, because here he has maybe two clouds. It's not exactly like what I want, so I'm going to start by creating that shape, and I have nothing inside, and then I have the stroke, and I'm trying to line up my stroke to be similar to what I have in my pumpkin picture. I don't want it to be really fat compared to her lines. I want it to be really similar. So I decided on 26.52 pixels, and I'm actually just going to make two of them. And then I've overlapped them just a little bit, and I'll move this up. And then I'm going to merge visible, but I want to turn the background off so I don't merge it with background. So I'm going to hide the background layer, and then under layer, I have to have one of these up. Layer, merge visible. That way then I can come in and fill those two clouds with Ben Day dots. So I'm going to get my paint bucket and come to pattern, and I'm just going to fill in these polka dots here. So it's the colors that will match more of what he's got with the blue in the background. All right, then there's a sun shape here that I've chosen. And I've got the really bright, so I'm going to go with a foreground pattern, come back to my shapes, go to custom shapes, and I'm looking for the sun, which is right here, and I've got the 26 width on my pixels. I've got outline in black, and the fill, let's make it bright green. All right, and then I will draw my sun shape, first one with it overlapping the cloud. And there it is, right? And then we'll rasterize the layer and duplicate the layer. So I can spin it a little bit. So I'm going to duplicate it and edit, free transform. So the duplicated one is on top of the other, and I will just spin that sun type shape so that it is upon the top of the other shape. So far I've got the two stars, I've got the cloud. I want something kind of behind it. So we'll come back and we'll do another layer. And I'm in Photoshop here. I've got that so far. I think I'll go ahead and put the white shape on the front of it since we're right there. And we'll go back to custom shapes. And there's the sun. He's got a kind of white star shape, maybe like that. And the fill needs to be white. The outline needs to be black. This needs to be fill up there. And I'm just going to draw one more. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. One more layer to the top of it and move it with the move tool. Maybe free move it just a little. Edit, free transform, just a little bit bigger so it covers up this inside of that sun. So now that I have those three spike shapes with the funny bin day cloud behind it, and apply, still wanted to put some kind of lightning bolt behind it. So I'm going to come back down here under this and put in a new layer. And I'm back here to my custom shapes. And I'm looking for some kind of line. There was my lightning bolt. And let's see, let's make this one bright green as well. So we'll draw the lightning bolt across here. Kind of like it on top of it. And as the white. So it's just a little bit different, but you see by stacking those shapes, then I'm starting to get that look of pop. And since this is for pumpkin, the last thing I'm going to do is add the text. So under the text, I've looked and I've decided on the stroke to be brush script stroke. And I'm going to type bow wow. Oops, got it going the wrong way. Just trash it. Right, and then I'm going to move that over in the center of my Powie and rotate it a little, so I want free transform. All right, and that's going to be my shadow there in black. So I'm going to duplicate it. And that one is on top, so I'm going to make that a bright blue. And double click the T. Click here on the black, come over, click on the blue. All right. And now the one on top is bright blue, so I can move it up from the black just slightly and have the back outline there of the wow. And if I want one more dark outline, then I can duplicate that again and double click on the T, come up here and get the blue, come down, maybe get a darker blue, and this time we'll move it that way. It's on the front side, and then I'm just going to move it under the bright blue. So I don't think I have it quite in the right spot. Let's move it one more time. How about there? Let's try that. All right. And there we go. We'll go with that. Now all I need to do is flatten that. So I'm going to go to Layer, to Merge Visible, and then duplicate it, duplicate Layer, and put it in Pumpkin. Now if I've done this where I like the size of the line, on screen, it should go with the line width with the drawing and everything that I'm already working on there as the Liechtenstein. And I can free transform it, make it so that it works however I'd like with my picture, and then add a really fun little text element to go with my Liechtenstein picture. Maybe there. And then we're just going to pull this behind so it says bow wow behind her. And that would be a fun thing if you decide you want to add text to your Liechtenstein.